I really enjoy speaking with you about the similarities or the overlaps with science and art. One of the things that I read in your artist statement for the show at Savannah State, where your art was displayed, I saw this quote, and you say that you painted energized all night long until the morning for 4 days straight. I believe that was on one of your first projects. You were describing that process. You were in what people call the flow, and you were uninterrupted. And I think whether it's science or music or art, for people to have that opportunity to spend 4, 5, 6, 8 hours doing one thing without interruption, I think that is something that I think that is crucial to what leads to something great coming out of it, whether it's a thought, whether it's a product. What do you think about that? In our culture today, we are fragmented more and more with emails and cell phones and all these things, and I need your attention now. No, but I need your attention. No, I need your attention. Do you think technology kind of cuts away at that time to be in the flow? Can you speak about that?
Yeah, technology is a wonderful tool, but you have to use it responsibly, And I think that people have allowed technology to be a little bit too invasive, and so to take away from their quality time. And so it's all about making priority. And I mentioned appreciation before, right? A level of appreciation is diminished if we're focused on the cell phone or the next text when I'm out with you, for example. Or if you're thinking about something else while you're here with somebody. It's taken away from the moment, because then basically you should have been wherever you were thinking about. Because now I could be wasting your time, and I'm wasting my time because I'm really not interested in being right here. So it's about quality and appreciation, and I get that when I paint, because it's a level of appreciation to pay attention to something over an extensive period of time, and to be so focused at it. I found that in painting, and I became so energized because I had something other than going to work and coming back home, going to work, coming back home. And I used to go out and have fun, go to different events, etc. But there was always something missing. I wanted something more. You just can't put your finger on what's missing, but you just want more out of life than just that. Running around.
Than work and going to the events that you need to go to.
Yeah, you're doing these things, but it's not making you feel full, and so you come to a point where you have to sit down and reflect about it a little bit. You think about it, and I didn't do that intentionally. I just stopped, and I was just slowing down and thinking about stuff. I would listen to music more, and I wouldn't watch TV. I still don't watch much TV at all.
We have no TV.
I didn't watch TV all week. Exactly. So, all those things are distractions, and they're irritating sometimes and annoying and unnecessary. You get bombarded by a lot of unnecessary things that could wait. It's not like pertinent. My mother didn't call me. Okay. All right. If my mother calls me, I'll answer that. But certain things, you don't have to answer it immediately. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be busy. And then a wonderful thing will happen to you if you slow down a little bit, often enough. It's not going to happen all at once. And so it took a few years. So people think that it happens immediately. It doesn't. And so what I've noticed, it was gradually over a period of time that you slow down and you start to pay attention more. And so that's when I started painting. And focusing more on appreciating the things around me, appreciating food, setting boundaries about my time, etc. And I didn't know what I was doing was being in the flow, but when I found it, I was up at 2 a.m. and I was completely energized. And I had no interest in going to bed. I was just painting constantly. And I realized that I was like, I'm a painter, I can paint. But, but I always need another level of challenge. And so I was doing acrylic on canvas. Now I've transitioned to oil. So my latest piece that I'm working on is oil. Because you always have to keep pushing and keep going.
Like a scientist.
Yeah, like
a
scientist.
I would imagine a lot of the art that you're doing probably is a lot like being in the lab. I mean, to some degree, you have to be focused. You really can't be distracted by other things going on because you've got timers and you have things that need to happen at specific times or you're going to lose the product, the crystal that you're trying to make.
I usually tell people, time stands still when you love what you're doing, when you enjoy what you're doing. Time stands still because there's no such thing as, thinking about what's next or thinking about, what I have to do later, because you're so focused on what you're doing now that, time is irrelevant. And I know that I've had the experience of painting, and I paint with my right hand, and I sometimes hold a paper towel in my other hand, and I get so involved in painting that I felt the paper towel just fall out of my hand. and sometimes I'm painting, I don't even know, so I don't know how to explain it.
I get it.
It's meditation.
I absolutely get it. You said something that really struck a chord with me too, where you're busy going to work, go to work, come home, go to work, come home, and then go out and do all of the things that you think you need to do, the functions, and go out and have fun. But you said something, it's like, but there was something missing. And I think every human has that inner need to want to create something.
Yes.
And I think really the only way that you can create something is to have that time and that space alone to do it.
Yes.
So we're going to bring it back to your students. Are there ways that you can facilitate this feeling, this way of being, and inspire this in your students?
I've been trying, and I think I hit upon it this semester. Because for Forensic Science Week, we're doing facial reconstruction. And what I did was, we have Crime Scene 1 and Crime Scene 2 courses within our Forensic Science program. And it's never the same thing twice. So each year, the group of senior students get to work on a project all year long. And this semester, I got them skulls.
Real human skulls?
No, they're moles.
Oh.
But we know the gender and ethnicity, etc. But I didn't tell them what they were. I just gave them, and they determined it accurately. They did all the measurements. They did and then they did scientific review on how to do facial reconstruction. We made the depth markers on the skulls, the placement around the skull. So we're trying to build up the facial features now with clay. And we didn't know. The students are like, but we're not sculptors, we don't know.
And this is the synthesis of art and science here. I get it.
And the students, you should see those. You have to come and see it.
I'm totally happy.
You should see those faces. They're striking, and they're so devoted to it. They come early to class. They come outside of class. They've donated their own funds for props, even. And they're just into it. When they're working with that clay, they're just into it. And we have a wonderful professor from liberal arts, Professor Eric Clark, that has shared his time and talent with the group. And he just effortlessly comes in and he's working with the students. And I'm taking pictures of them. And we're making observations. Everything is documented. And you should see those students. They're just in on it. And the toughest students, where nothing is able to get to them, and they're like, this is not interesting, this is not it. They're like, we love this, you better show up for class. Because I was at allergies one week, and I had to go home early, but the next day was crime scene. And the student said to me, you better show up for class tomorrow.
That's perfect.
Because it's facial reconstruction day.
Right.
So, and they are just totally into it. So I think I found it. They are in the zone when they're in there.